Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is your boy, the Crypto Siege, with another day in the crazy life that is cryptocurrency. What is going on, guys? A lot of great things happening in the space, in the digital asset space. I wanted to shoot a quick video for you guys about the R3 partnership with Swift. And just kind of how I see things, and just so you guys can kind of get a better understanding of that partnership. If you really want to get a deep dive into it, check out Love for Crypto on YouTube. Brilliant guys over there. They can really explain it in detail and get a really good deep dive. But essentially, the Swift GPI that is now being integrated into R3&XRP settler, what it allows the people with Swift to do is to be able to, take advantage of the DLT that R3 offers, and so they can get some things done, and 2, 3, 4 minutes versus not being able to get it done that quickly. But also understand that it's run alongside of the XRP and what it does, and so the network that's involved with Swift now has access to both the Swift GPI, which is now upgraded because of this partnership with R3, to do things in 2, 3, 4 minutes versus, longer. And they also have the option to do this settlement with XRP. So what's the difference, you're asking? The major difference is that with the Swift GPI, you still have a liquidity issue, because you're still having to pre-fund, take on other cross-border payments, their currency, and with the global economic situation the way it is, it's a major risk. And so you don't get to free up the Nostro Vostro account. So remember, the biggest issue going on today is liquidity, or the lack thereof, right? And what XRP and XRP, what using XRP allows you to do is use the digital asset to provide liquidity so that you can free up the Nostro Vostro accounts. And so in the end, and I think this is kind of the thing that people are missing, because they're looking they heard about this partnership, and they think that that's going to immediately transfer the tens of thousands or 10,000 people from the Swift network to XRP, and that's not going to be the case. It's going to take some time for that to happen. But here's the thing: once the word gets out, and I believe that SBI is going to have a lot to do with this, and I believe that IMF is going to have a lot to do with this. Once the word gets out, once it's known, it's obvious, it's seen that using XRP is not only faster because it's 2 or 3 seconds versus 2 or 3 minutes, but it also frees up the Nostro Vostro accounts for people, for banks. That without question will be the game changer. That without question will be, because you can take that money, and my understanding is over $10 trillion in these Nostro Vostro accounts worldwide. It's going to allow these financial institutions to do other things, because it'll free up that capital. And so here's the thing to really understand, and I think this is what some people may have been missing, right? The IMF can't go in there and say you will use, right? You will use XRP, but the global, right? She can't do that, right? The IMF can't do that, but the global economic settings, the global economic setting will demand it, because the challenge worldwide with the global economy is the lack of liquidity. When you have all kinds of money tied up, in these Nostro Vostro, trillions, and some say it's tens of trillions of dollars tied up, and there's this thing called XRP that can free it up. Again, the global economic framework or setting will demand that. So it's just a matter of time where more banks, central banks, financial institutions will turn to that. That are part of the Swift network will turn to XRP. It's just a matter of time. And that is the thing that you want to look at. It's the global economic setting will demand the use of XRP. Okay, and because it solves the liquidity problem, and there's nothing out there that does that. That is our ace in the hole for those of us who are XRP holders. The global economic conditions that are in place today and that are worsening, they're not getting better. XRP solves the issue. Now, the people from the Federal Reserve know that. The people from IMF, right? People from the Federal Reserve and the faster payments task force know that. The people at IMF know that. There's a reason why the Federal Reserve and IMF, Christine Lagarde especially, in every presentation of late, every single presentation as of late, is mentioning Ripple. There's a reason for that. She knows that she can't tell them what to do. But if she makes more and more people aware of that, it's an option. And that's what she's going around the world and doing. That's what she's going around the world and doing. Making more and more institutions and banks aware of Ripple and what it does and what it can provide. The more and more banks, institutions will begin to use it. And for us as XRP holders, that's the volume. And just understand that, like I said in yesterday's video that I need to put out, like I said in yesterday's video, in order for that system with XRP and XRP to work for institutions and banks, it has to be a very, very, very high price. That's the game. That's the game in the end. So, and that's the things that will be worked out. Those are the things that will be set. Prices will be set. It will be met. And, you know, and the banks want this to work. They want these prices to get to this place. Why? Because it knows it's going to free up those Nostra Voces accounts, which is in the trillions. So they don't care about XRP being at $100 or $500 or $1,000 or $2,000 when we're talking trillions. We're talking trillions. And that's just one part of the things that will set up the price. Eventually, the retail market will have something to do with that. Eventually, not in the beginning. Eventually, but not in the beginning. And once that starts to happen, and you know, you get the backed and you get the Fidelities of the world coming in, all of these things will help with the price to get to where it is. But there will be a set price, and it'll happen before you know it. You're going to wake up one morning and it's going to be at $100, and 3 weeks later it's going to be at $500, and 6 weeks later it's going to be at $1,000. That's just the way it is, because that is what is necessary to make it happen. And because of the global economic conditions, that is what's necessary to help solve the madness that is going on with the global economy. So guys, that's what we are as XRP holders. We're blessed. Never forget this, guys. Old money doesn't want you to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know. The battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. Talk to you soon, guys. See ya.